it currently stands, forced labor, slavery takes precedence over rehabilitation and public safety.
Oh, by the way, while the Biden administration gives reparations to everyone but freed people, look at the billions he has run over to Ukraine.
We don't have black grocery stores because if you think about it now, just to get in that supply chain, it's almost unheard of.
They don't want the truth to get out. Okay? I don't want to know what my family did or what all these people did and all this stuff like that. Okay?
Come on.
You read that 500-page report.
There's this thing called white superiority and black inferiority. That mindset allows all of the behaviors that we've seen across generations, allows for the construction of these policies and practices and systems and structures that continue to oppress us. This is not a handout. This is a debt that is owed.
You know, Allensworth was like the internet of his time in 1904, 1905.
The total black population in California is about 2.6 million, and then of that, the descendants compose about 2.2 million of that. So California, with a multi-billion-dollar surplus, can absolutely afford to satisfy the international terms for reparations, beginning with compensation.
Any financial obstacle that exists that impedes the success of increasing financial prosperity needs to be dealt with and eliminated.
No matter where we've been, no matter what part of this fight we've been in, we've been harmed, and we had harm done to us specifically.
When I got to Los Angeles, this was some of the worst segregation I'd ever seen. And remember, I'm telling you, I'm from Mississippi.
Because as you can see, I'm giving you broken history right now, you know? But I had to give it to you guys today. I said, no, I got to show them this because it's so precious and nobody really knows about it.
Black people don't have that kind of luxury. Our historically black communities have been redistricted multiple times.
Now listen, if you can't handle the TR roof, don't tune in.
What is up, family? Hope all is well. What's going on with you?
Oh, you know, just MLK Day. Happy birthday to MLK. It's
Definitely.
not a day off, it's a day on.
Day on. Shout out to the ancestor, the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So we definitely want to, give a shout out and homage to the great ancestor. Yeah, today we're going to be reading the R.E.P.A.I.R Act, Executive Order 1865. So if you have any comments, put it in the chat and let us know what you think. And then we will send the feedback, any feedback that you have, to the NAASD. And I don't know, see if they want to accept that feedback or not. That'd be up to them. But yeah, put it in the chat, family. Let us know what you think. And yeah, but before we do that, we have some things that we'd like to present real quick. So once again, if you haven't seen the video, check out From Cotton to Cannabis, Still Locked Out, No More Bootstrapping, Equity Only. We do read an excerpt from I keep forgetting that book.
Here to equality. Here to equality.
Here to Equality. I don't know. I want to say something else for some reason. Every time it just throws me off. Anyway, yeah, From Here to Equality, but by Dr. Sandy Darity and Dr. A. Kristen Mullen. It's an excellent book. I haven't actually finished it yet. So I'm, I sometimes read multiple books at the same time. So reading that one, I'm reading another one, Negro Revolts right now. So I'm reading those two simultaneously. But yeah, go check it out, and it's just interesting once again how freedmen, those who descend from U.S. chattel slavery, were locked out from the cotton industry and also to the cannabis industry. So let's go to the next one. I don't know. Kim, you want to talk about this one?
Oh, well, these are our 2023 Cut the Check reparations manifestation planners available at Amazon. And it's a 13-month planner that you can write down, all of your reparations, activities, aspirations, dreams, what you want to see, something you can look back on and share with the grandkids. To show that you were a part of this reparations movement and helping to manifest our justice claim into existence. Available now at Amazon.com.
Absolutely. And we'll put the links in throughout the show. If you'd like to support, we would greatly appreciate that. Kim worked really hard on those planners.
As did you, Moya.
I just put a little 1% in there. So
it was definitely a collaborative effort, as will manifesting our reparations into existence. Hopefully that's a collaborative effort as well. And y'all get one of these planners, buy one for your family and for your friends.
Absolutely. All right. So what else do we have here? So it is to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. So let's go ahead and play a quick video before we get to the reading. Here we go. Cut the check.
That's right.
Cut the check.
That part.
That part, exactly. All right, so it looks like we have another clip here about President Biden. So let's see what he has to say.
Especially those moments, and especially those moments when this campaign was at its lowest ebb, the African-American community stood up again for me. You've always had my back, and I'll have yours.
Willie.
Do you feel like President Biden got our back?
Yeah, family in the chat. Do you feel like President Biden has our back? So far, no.
Yeah, way back, way back. So far back.
I get you back.
So far back. Yeah, it's just so. I believe that this Executive Order 1865, the R.E.P.A.I.R Act, NAASD has forwarded it to the Biden administration, where it went from there. I do not know. Hopefully it can gain some traction. And maybe there'll be some calls to order coming out in the new year regarding the R.E.P.A.I.R Act.
Yeah, I don't know what I was just thinking, like in terms of like, I got your back. There was something called the Wayback Machine. I don't know if it was on a cartoon or what it was. I don't know, but it just remembers the Wayback Machine. Anyway, yeah, definitely. President Biden, there's quite a few bills or acts or whatever that they call them. The George Floyd, I think, act as well, that he didn't sign, or I don't even know where that's at right now. The Asian community got a anti-Asian, hate crime bill, and I can't remember. I think it was on Phil Scott. I think Phil Scott did a report on freedmen people or Black Americans actually have the highest hate crime rate against the freedmen community. If I'm correct, I think it's
I mean, there was something recently about Los Angelinos, or in Los Angeles, definitely have the highest rate of hate crimes for Black people.
All right. Okay, so shout out to Black Magic Mike. What's up, fam?
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Tulsa, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
definitely gotta get some love out there, man. Our Tulsa family. Yeah, I think I had like, part of my people came from. I know definitely Kansas, but I'm sure we had some family in Oklahoma, like, in the 40s and 50s that did the Great Migration out there. But I gotta double check. But I know Kansas for sure. Shout out to Tulsa. All right, fam. So I guess let's get into it before we start the reading. Let's read this disclaimer. All right, here it goes. The National Assembly of American Slavery Descendants is a nonprofit 501c3 organization committed to advancing the national movement for compensatory reparations for Black Americans who descend from U.S. slavery. American Freedmen. NAASD is American Freedmen-led and therefore focused on directly repairing the issues impacting our Black American communities. We view our goals best achieved through community engagement, empowerment, and unity. NAASD is committed to providing a national program of education and training for American freedmen, focusing on civic engagement and self-advocacy. NAASD engages directly in African American communities with the goal of raising awareness and competency around the U.S. legislative process. American civic rights, political sciences, nonprofit formation, policy writing, and other critical tools. We seek to empower our members to self-advocate American freedmen interests at all levels of government. Bill 1865 is for educational purposes on what a presidential executive order on reparations from a freedman perspective. So this is right now the draft that you're going to be seeing, and this is going to be an interesting read. So once again, if you have feedback while we're reading it, definitely let us know. We'll send it over to NAASD so they can take a look at it. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna start this so we can go ahead and get this done. So I'll probably read the first page, and Kim, if you don't mind helping out with the other one, I would greatly appreciate it.
You got it. I got your back.
Wonderful. All right, so here it is. The R.E.P.A.I.R Act. Reconciliation. The policies under this section of the R.E.P.A.I.R Act are intended to reconcile America's legislative past with the current condition of the descendant community. There are three main policy memos that directly address establishing a reparations commission, a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and a commission to increase participation of Black American descendants of chattel slavery, BADOCS, in federal programs. These policies are very much in line with the Biden administration's commitment not only to equality, but to equity. These commissions must have their recommendations and remedies enacted in order to heal this nation and to give the descendant community access to government in a way that will create an economic boom for our nation. John Conyers' Reparations Commission by Executive Order 1865, is to acknowledge the fundamental injustice, cruelty, brutality, and inhumanity of slavery in the United States and the 13 American colonies between 1776 and 1865, and to establish a commission to examine the institution of slavery, subsequently de jure and de facto racial and economic discrimination against African Americans, and the impact of the forces on living Black American descendants of chattel slavery, to make recommendations to the Congress on appropriate remedies and for other purposes. To the Committee on the Judiciary. Background. Initially, Congressional Bill H.R. 40 was introduced to Congress by Representative John Conyers in 1989, has been reintroduced for the past 31 years. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee assumed the responsibility of carrying the torch of Representative Conyers. However, the bill in its current form does not represent the voice of American. All right, so I guess if you want to take it on the next page, and just let me know if I need to scroll up, scroll down, or whatever.
Okay, American slavery descendants. The blueprint for the bill is derived from the Japanese Commission on Wartime Relocation and Internment of Civilians, as it has set a precedent for reparations. We have maintained the framework and amended 6 main areas of H.R. 40 to represent the desires of Black American slavery descendants more meaningfully. A major concern of having a presidential commission by executive order is that a subsequent president can repeal the order. The parameters of H.R. 1865 ensure that the work of a reparations commission will be complete before 2024 if signed into law during 2021. So now, interjection real quick, we're in 2023, so of course those dates would need to be adjusted. Or maybe we can still get it done by 2024. I mean, shoot.
Word.
Anyways, recommended policy to address the fundamental injustice, cruelty, brutality, and inhumanity of slavery in the United States between 1776 and the present, and to establish a commission to study and consider a national apology and proposal for reparations for the institution of slavery, its subsequent de jure and de facto racial and economic discrimination against African Americans, and the impact of these forces on living African Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States, to make recommendations to the President on appropriate remedies and for other purposes, be it enacted by the President of the United States of America. Section 1 short title. This act may be cited as the John Conyers Commission on Restitution to the Descendants of U.S. Chattel Slavery and American Apartheid Act.
All right. Man, Kim, you read so well, I don't know if I can follow up on that. Dang. All right, I'll try my best here. Approximately 4 million Black Americans were enslaved in the United States at the time of emancipation in 1865. The institution of slavery was sanctioned by the government of the United States from 1776 through 1865. The slavery that flourished in the United States constituted an immoral and inhumane deprivation of Blacks' lives, life, liberty, Black citizenship, rights, and cultural heritage, and denied them the fruits of their own labor. A preponderance of scholarly, legal, and community evidentiary documentation constitute the basis for inquiry into the ongoing effects of the institution of slavery and its legacy of persistent systemic structures of discrimination on living African Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States. And following the abolition of slavery, the United States government continued to perpetuate, condone, and often profit from practices that continue to brutalize and disadvantage African Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States, including sharecropping, convict leasing, Jim Crow, redlining, unequal education, and unfair treatment at the hands of the criminal justice system. And as a result of the historic and continued discrimination, Black Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States continue to suffer debilitating economic, educational, and health hardships, including but not limited to having nearly 1 million Black people incarcerated and an unemployment rate.
An unemployment rate generally twice the current white unemployment rate, and the average Black household has 1/10 of the wealth of the average white household. The United States government is the culpable party and must meet the obligation of awarding restitution to those eligible for reparations. The United States government also is culpable for maintaining the legal and authority framework that sanctions slavery, legal segregation in the United States, and continues to permit ongoing anti-Black racist practices. Purpose. The purpose of this act is to establish a commission to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States as a result of the institution of slavery, including both the transatlantic and the internal trade, which existed from 1776 through 1865 within the United States. The de jure and de facto discrimination against freed slaves and their descendants from the end of the Civil War to the present, including economic, political, educational, and social discrimination. The persistent negative effects of the institution of slavery and the discrimination described in paragraphs 1 and 2 on living African Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States. The many ways in which textual and digital instructional resources and technologies continue to be used to deny the inhumanity of slavery and to deny the record of crimes against humanity directed at Black American descendants of persons enslaved in the United States, the role of the Northern complicity in the Southern-based institution of slavery.
All right. The direct benefits to societal institution, public and private, including higher education, corporations, religious, and associational, including a systematic plan to maintain historical memory of the conditions that motivated the inauguration of the program of restitution, and thus recommend appropriate ways to educate the American public about the Commission's findings, including a systematic plan to maintain historical memory of the conditions that motivated the inauguration of the program of restitution. Reparations for African Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States that must be designed at minimum to eliminate the racial wealth gap by addressing the net assets of Black Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States to a level sufficient to eliminate the average pre-tax Black-white wealth differential. 3 components must be incorporated into the Commission's recommendations for a reparations proposal in its final report to Congress. A. Eligibility. Recipients of reparations must be individuals who can demonstrate that they have at least one ancestor who was enslaved in the United States and who can demonstrate that for at least 12 years prior to the enactment of this legislation that they have self-identified as Black, Negro, African American, or Afro-American. A primary goal of the reparations plan must be to provide sufficient funds to eliminate the Black-white wealth differential in the United States. The majority of the funds must be used to make direct payments to eligible recipients as restitution.
And thus recommend appropriate remedies to the President, subject to the conditions described in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 immediately above. Section 3, Establishment and Duties. Establishment. There is established the Commission on Restitution to the Descendants of U.S. Chattel Slavery and American Apartheid for African Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States, hereinafter in this act referred to as the Commission. Duties. The Commission shall perform the following duties: identify, compile, and synthesize the relevant corpus of evidentiary documentation of the institution of slavery which existed within the United States from 1776 through 1865. The national laws that discriminated against formerly enslaved Blacks and African Americans who are descendants of persons enslaved in the United States who are formerly deemed United States citizens from 1868 to the present. The other forms of discrimination in the public and private sectors against the formerly enslaved and their descendants, including redlining, educational funding discrepancies, and predatory financial practices. Report to the President. The Commission shall submit a final written report of its findings and recommendations to the President no later than the date, which is 18
18 months after the date of the first meeting of the commission held pursuant to Section 4C. All right, so we're going to take a quick break and we're going to play something from our sponsor. It's an in-house sponsor. But yeah, we're going to go play this real quick and then we will, I guess, continue from there. Let's do it.
Write your thoughts, dreams, and affirmations into existence with this powerful, practical reparations manifestation planner. Put 2023 plans into action with purpose.
The proofs are hot off the press and look fire, fam. Perfect planner to write reparations manifestations and any other New Year's resolutions, goals, and achievable aspirations. It's been stated, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book or write it down. Let's break those stereotypical trash tropes.
Conjure our justice claim collectively in 2023. Believe it and achieve it. Cut the check. Reparations Now Planner. Available now at Amazon.com. Write it into existence this year with fam and friends. Woohoo! Those planners are looking good.
Hot off the press, family. So yeah,
Fire.
go fire. So yeah, please go ahead and purchase your planner. Actually, I don't know, Kim, if you could put the links in the chat, would greatly appreciate it.
Okay, let me go grab
I'll go ahead
this.
and continue reading as we go along, family. All right, here we go. Section 4, membership. Number and appointment. The commission shall be composed of 11 members who shall be appointed. That's interesting. The commission shall be composed of 11 members who shall be appointed. I wonder why the 11 members. It's just a question. So anyway, let's go. The commission shall be composed of 11 members who shall be appointed within 90 days after the date of enactment of this act as follows. 3 members shall be appointed by the president. 3 members shall be appointed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. 1 member shall be appointed by the President pro tempore of the Senate. 2 members shall be selected by the Congressional Black Caucus from civil society and reparations organizations that have championed the cause of reparatory justice. 2 members shall be selected by the Congressional Black Caucus who are African American descendants of persons enslaved in the United States. All members of the commission shall be persons who experts in American history, constitutional law, economics, including stratification economics, political science, and sociology. These appointees must have expert knowledge on the history of slavery and Jim Crow, employment discrimination, military discrimination, wealth inequality, health disparities, unequal education opportunity, criminal justice and mass incarceration, media, political participation, and exclusion, and housing inequities. All right, so I'll let you continue.
The commission also should include appointees with detailed knowledge about the design and administration of prior reparations programs as guidelines for structuring a comprehensive reparations program for Native Black Americans. A. Terms. The term of office for members shall be for life of the commission. A vacancy in the commission shall not affect the powers of the commission and shall be filled in the same manner in which the original appointment was made. B. First meeting. The president shall call the first meeting of the commission within 120 days after the date of enactment of this act or within 30 days after the date on which legislation is enacted, making appropriations to carry out this act, whichever date is later. C. Quorum. 7 members of the commission shall constitute a quorum, but a lesser number may hold hearings. D. Chair and Vice Chair. The commission shall elect a chair and vice chair from among its members. The term of office of each shall be for the life of the commission. All members of the commission shall be unsalaried, but they can be reimbursed for travel, subsistence, child care, and other necessary expenses incurred by them in the performance of their duties to the extent authorized by Chapter 57 of Title V, United States Code. The President shall call the first meeting of the Commission to occur no later than June 1st, 2024.
Powers of the Commission. Hearings and sessions. The Commission may, for the purpose of carrying out the provisions of this Act, hold such hearings and sit and act such times and at such places in the United States, and request the attendance and testimony of such witnesses and the production of such books, records, correspondence, memoranda, papers, and documents as the Commission considers appropriate. The Commission may invoke the aid of an appropriate United States District Court to require, by subpoena or otherwise, such attendance, testimony, or production. Powers of the subcommittees and members. Any subcommittee or member of the Commission may, if authorized by the Commission, take any action which the Commission is authorized to take by this section. Obtaining official data. The Commission may acquire directly from the head of any department, agency, or instrumentality of the executive branch of the government available information which the Commission considers useful in the discharge of its duties. All departments, agencies, and instrumentalities of the executive branch of the government shall cooperate with the Commission with respect to such information and shall furnish all information requested by the Commission to the extent permitted by law. Congressional Office of Genealogy. All right. In general, there is established an office of the Congress to be known as the Congressional Office of Genealogy, here and after in this section referred to as the
office. The office shall be headed by a director, and there shall be a deputy director who shall perform such duties as may be assigned to him by the director, and during the absence or incapacity of the director or during a vacancy in that office shall act as director. The director shall be appointed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President pro tempore of Senate after considering recommendations received from the committees on the judiciary of the House and Senate without regard to political affiliation and solely on the basis of his or her fitness to perform his or her duties. The deputy director shall be appointed by the director. Purpose. The office will hire, train, and certify genealogists for the purpose of identification and verification of the class named in Section 2B. Administrative provisions. Staff. The Commission may consist with Section 5311B of Title V, United States Code, appoint and fix the compensation of such administrative personnel assisting the Commission considers appropriate. Experts and consultants. The Commission may procure the services of experts and consultants in accordance with the provision of Section 3109B of Title V, United States Code, but at rates for individuals not to exceed the daily equivalent of the highest rate payable under Section 5332 of such title. Administrative support services. The Commission may enter into agreements with the Administrator of General Services for procurement of financial and administrative services necessary for the discharge of duties of the Commission. Payment for
such services. Payment for such services shall be made by reimbursement from funds the Commission in such amounts as may be agreed upon by the Chairman of the Commission and the Administrator. Contracts. The Commission may procure supplies, services, and property by contract in accordance with applicable laws and regulations, and to the extent or in such amounts as are provided in appropriations acts, and enter contracts with departments, agencies, and instrumentalities of the federal government, state agencies, and private firms, institutions, and agencies for the conduct of research for surveys, the preparation of reports, and other activities necessary for the discharge of the duties of the commission to the extent or in such amounts as are provided in appropriations acts. Section 8, termination. The commission shall terminate 90 days after the date on which the commission submits its final report to the president under Section 3C. Section 9, authorization of appropriations. A, to carry out the provisions of this act, there are authorized to be appropriated $20 million US dollars. All right. Marcus Champion, Consul Jones Muhammad, 2020. Shout out to Marcus Champion and our wonderful sister Friday, Consul Jones Muhammad, 2020. So yes, family, here's some references here from the page. Once again, that's the National Assembly of American Descendants of Slavery. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen here. And if we can, let's put that, let's see, that disclaimer up real quick. Where's that disclaimer? Okay, cool. Oops, sorry about that. Go ahead. All right, so if you just got to the program, I'm gonna read this disclaimer just one more time. And you can actually go to NAASD.org if you want more information on NAASD. The National Assembly of American Slavery Descendants is a nonprofit 501c3 organization committed to advancing the national movement for compensatory reparations for Black Americans who descend from U.S. slavery. American Freedmen, NAASD is American Freedmen-led and therefore focus on directly repairing the issues impacting our Black American communities. We view our goals best achieved through community engagement, empowerment, and unity. NAASD is committed to providing a national program of education and training for American freedmen, focusing on civic engagement and self-advocacy. NAASD engages directly in African American communities with the goal of raising awareness and competency around the U.S. legislative process, American civic rights, political sciences, nonprofit formation, policy writing, and other critical tools. We seek to empower our members to self-advocate American freedmen interests at all levels of government. Bill 1865 is for educational purposes on what a presidential executive order on reparations from a freedman perspective. For more information, go to NAASD.org. That's NAASD.org.
All right, so that's pretty straightforward and to the point. It's been a minute since I've read H.R. 40, but my takeaways, that jumped out at me on this is there would be no compensation for the volunteers to serve on this other than, a stipend to cover their expenses, whereas with HR 40, it was some overbloated pay category that the commission would be receiving. And also in this 1865, there are, defined cutoff dates for the work to be done and for the commission to end, so it just doesn't go on forever and ever like HR 40 has been going on and on forever since it's been introduced. There's a, like I said, distinct cutoff date to get the work done, so it just doesn't go on and on for perpetuity.
Yeah, there's two things that actually stood out for me. One was the genealogy agency. I thought that was cool. And then I think something else that stood out for me was very interesting. The $20 million. If I'm correct, and please anybody in the chat, let me know. I think the HR 40, and please let me know. I think that was like $2 million. I could be wrong, to support the HR 40. So in this case, or was it 20 million?
Well, I thought it initially was 12 million, but in the markup or something, they took it up to 20 million. If I remember correctly, like I said, it's been a minute.
Yeah, because I think at first it was 2 million, or maybe that was AB 3121. I don't know. Sometimes I get confused on these bills, family. So so yeah, I thought that was an interesting figure. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, you want to reach out to NAASD.org and let them know. I think that was pretty much it. I just kind of want to go through the comments real quick, give our family a shout out before we actually break out here. I always like to give shout outs to our family. Thanks, Black Magic, for coming through. We always appreciate you, family. Let's see who. Our wonderful sister, Darlene. What up, Darlene? Good morning, family. Sorry I'm late. No, family, you always on time. It's all good. Shout out to Darlene. She actually helped us with the voiceover commercial. So we gotta give a shout out to our sister Darlene. Much appreciation for you. And then let's see who's in the building again. Yeah, shout out to our family, Be the Power. What's up, fam? What's going on with you? Actually, matter of fact, we gotta hook up. I guess the cat's out the bag. I'm actually gonna make the cat out the bag. ETN Media Group, we're actually working on right now a Federal Freedmen Agency presentation right now. So we're gonna try to go across the YouTube and the social media sphere to see if we can present this idea and concept to our Freedmen family and other Freedmen media. So we'd be appreciated and humbled if we can, present this on the Be the Power platform to the Be the Power family. But yeah, working on that right now. But that should be done shortly. So shout out to Be the Power family. Let's see. Who else is in the building? My sister. What is up? Gotta give her a shout out to Shanna in the building. What's up, Shanna? How you doing, sis? ARC in the building. ARCC Bay Area. What's going on with y'all? In the building. All right, fam. So yeah, a lot going on, family. A lot going on. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. We read it. I think we're probably going to get into some more readings. We actually might get into the I believe it's called the Information Act. That's a huge lift and a huge bill. I don't know if we want to read that whole thing. Maybe we might take it in pieces. But yeah, there's some interesting information in there. But outside of that, Kim, if there's anything else, we're going to let the family go, have their wonderful day today, Sunday, and celebrate the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday today. And then I think his official recognition is Monday? I think tomorrow.
Yes, the observance is tomorrow. So that'll be a holiday for people. But like I said, it is a day on, for me at least, not a day off, because like you said, it don't stop.
It don't stop. So
speaking of which, just one last thing to note with the task force out here in California, the next meeting will be coming up this month on January 27th and 28th. That's going to be in San Diego. So if you're in the San Diego area, be sure to pull up to that.
Absolutely. And crossing fingers, we're actually going to, ETN Media Group, Mass Media Group is going to be in the building. So, we're going to be streaming that live and direct. And hopefully we'll get some interviews going as well. As we go down there, I like to, get in contact with the people, engage with the people, see what's going on with them, get the pulse, get the energy. If you haven't checked it out, we had some really good interviews. I think her name was Icy. I think it was. I guess the sister got cut off, and she was like, "Oh man, I got cut off. I wanted to speak my speech." So we interviewed her, and we interviewed Brother Big Sal in the building, who's always been a great supporter, a great freedman in this fight. And I was like, "Hey, bro, you definitely got some wisdom. Let's see what you have to say. So, we like to hear from the people. We like to hear from the people because that's what it's about. At the end of the day, it's not about an individual thing. It's really about the community because we got to uplift each other, so.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, fam. Well, on that note, much love and respect to y'all. I guess that's about it. If you have any questions about the R.E.P.A.I.R Act, you can hit up NAASD.org. That's NAASD.org at your earliest convenience.
All right.
All right. Peace and reparations.
Write your thoughts, dreams, and affirmations into existence with this powerful, practical reparations manifestation planner. Put 2023 plans into action with purpose.
The proofs are hot off the press and look fire, fam. Perfect planner to write reparations manifestations and any other New Year's resolutions, goals, and achievable aspirations. It's been stated, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book or write it down. Let's break those stereotypical trash tropes.
Conjure our justice claim collectively in 2023. Believe it and achieve it. Cut the check. Reparations Now Planner. Available now at Amazon.com. Write it into existence this year with fam and friends.
The way it currently stands, forced labor, slavery takes precedence over rehabilitation and public safety.
Oh, by the way, while the Biden administration gives reparations to everyone but free people, look at the billions he has run over to Ukraine.
We don't have black grocery stores because if you think about it now, just to get in that supply chain, it's almost unheard of.
They don't want the truth to get out. Okay? I don't want to know what my family did or what all these people did and all this stuff like that. Okay? You read that 500-page report.
There's this thing called white superiority and black inferiority. That mindset allows all of the behaviors that we've seen across generations, allows for the construction of these policies and practices and systems and structures that continue to oppress us. This is not a handout. This is a debt that is owed.
Allensworth was like the internet of his time in 1904, 1905.
The total black population in California is about 2.6 million, and then of that, the descendants compose about 2.2 million of that. So California, with a multi-billion-dollar surplus, can absolutely afford to satisfy the international terms for reparations, beginning with compensation.
Any financial obstacle that exists that impedes the success of increasing financial prosperity needs to be dealt with and eliminated.
No matter where we've been, no matter what part of this fight we've been in, we've been harmed, and we've had harm done to us specifically.
When I got to Los Angeles, this was some of the worst segregation I'd ever seen. And remember, I'm telling you, I'm from Mississippi.
Because as you can see, I'm giving you broken history right now, but I had to give it to you guys today. I said, no, I got to show them this because it's so precious and nobody really knows about it.
Black people don't have that kind of luxury. Our historically black communities have been redistricted multiple times.
Now listen, if you can't handle the TR roof, don't tune in.